I bought a giant tracked remote control lawnmower from TEMU, and I did not expect it to be this big. $1,700 later, I get a 350-pound package. My plan is to get it into the garage, bust open that crate, and see what the heck I even bought. Nice. Did it. This is so much bigger than I thought it was going to be. I was expecting like a little battle bot, you know, like this. Now it's finally time to see what's inside this thing. What are we going to find in here? Sometimes things are a completely different color. Sometimes they're even a completely different shape. You never know. One time I got an excavator on TEMU that was the wrong color and the entirely wrong model, but it was actually one more expensive than the one I bought. All right. Let's see, what did we buy? Whoa. Holy smokes. It's giant. I guess it was just the price and the fact that it was on TEMU. I just was not expecting the size. We got an emergency stop. It is the color we ordered. Wow. X Pro. Could that be the same X Pro as all these motorcycles I've done videos on? It seems unlikely, but it does say X Pro right on it. Look at the size of that starter. Holy smokes. This might not be all that bad. I'm gonna take the sides off so we can get a good clear look at this thing and then keep going. I think I'm most excited to see the remote and the tracks. I hope the remote is like super cool, some kind of initiate lawnmower switch, you know? Okay, okay, okay. Oh man. Do you see what I'm saying? These tracks are absolutely massive. This is probably the same track that's on our TEMU excavator for scale. Obviously this is a triangle shape instead of a horizontal shape, but holy smokes. And they're electric motors. Wow, interesting. This is actually way cool. It's a complete hybrid setup. So we obviously have the gas motor front and center, but we also have an electric motor running the blade, electric motors running the tracks, and these electric motors have little gear reduction setups like you'd see on a portal axle on a Humvee or a off-roading Jeep, something like that. And then you can see you have these actuators moving this bar that I can only assume moves up and down this plate so you can decide how low you want to cut your grass. Pretty sick setup, actually. Do we have any kind of instruction book here? This video is sponsored by Fume. Flavored air is quickly becoming the leading alternative to smoking and vaping, and at the forefront of it all, there's fume. With fume, instead of inhaling vapor, you are just breathing in natural, non-toxic flavors. No vapor, no nicotine. That's just great taste without any harmful chemicals. And man, is there so many flavors to choose from. This is a mindful habit replacement. It has a great weight to it. Everything feels quality. It clicks, it clacks. It's got real wood. Even the stand is magnetic. You can spin it. You can fidget with this thing. It's great to keep your hands busy while you curb an urge. Over 500,000 people have already made the switch to fume as part of their habit-changing journey. And if you're ready to try it for yourself, now is the time, because if you order the Journey Pack using code EDWINOLDING, you will get a free fume topper, an awesome accessory to level up your experience. Now back to the video. Oh, I don't know what any of this says. We'll have to translate that. And where's the remote? Is it underneath it? Oh, what? Can you charge this thing? Clean up in time, keep the interior clean, pay attention to the maintenance of equipment. All right, let's see, it's a 225cc. There's our cutting height, cutting width, 24 volt. And I guess we have these tags here. So if we need to replace the track, we know what to replace them with. Hang on to those. And jackpot, instructions, and our remote has to be in here. Oh, look at that. Nice. What else is under here? Oh, just our blade. Okay. And look at that. It's like a Duplo Lego brick. What the heck? Interesting. All right, first up, biggest box. What do we have here? Oh, TEMU undersells sometimes, for real. They showed this like super regular looking like remote control car remote in the listing. But that is wicked awesome. This seems dangerous. What the heck? USB-C, like to see it. Okay. This thing looks properly cool. And as you can see, we have English characters on it, which is great. So I can read it. The throttle is like a fixed position switch. And does it have battery? Oh. C7 Mini Pro. What? Oh, okay, you can see it turns. That's sick. What? This is gonna be a little bit of a figuring out situation, but let's open all the other boxes and get back to it. That is like sick though. Bye-bye. This might be my first thing I bought on TEMU that's nicer than I expected. Does it work? That's the real question, but the remote's cool, so that's a step in the right direction, right? White box next. Pretty light, maybe chargers. Yup. Yeah, this is the same plug to go in that port. So it's a plug-in hybrid. What? I mean, I know you could get a nice riding lawnmower for 1,700 bucks, but I was not expecting a plug-in hybrid remote control 350-pound beast for 1,700 bucks. I mean, you can get like a really bad motorcycle on TEMU like this one for just over 1,000. So I don't know, I just wasn't expecting this. Probably replacement actual blade for cutting, or a shorter blade. I imagine what's on there is bigger than that. We have a little tool set, I imagine to take that off and on. And then we have an air filter, or a little air box, right there. Wow, it even came with a maintenance item. If we have an English owner's manual, and that it is. Dang! Let's see how we gotta set this thing up. All right, first they're gonna hit us with all the warnings and don't be an idiot stuff. Okay, we got the dipstick. We're gonna have to change the oil before we get started because these things always ship with just like a mineral oil that's meant to keep the engine from seizing but not actually run. I don't see the drain plug yet. Wait a minute. Tilt the gasoline engine and let the oil overflowing out from the hole. What? Okay, I just read through both manuals entirely, and I don't think there's a drain plug on this engine. Isn't that crazy though? And it says a different weight of oil in this manual than it does this manual. And it does say first start, just check the oil and then run it. So maybe this did come with real oil. I've been burned before by doing this, but well, let's see. There must be some kind of drain plug. Huh. There's no way that the only way to drain it is to tilt it sideways. It's giant and heavy. I'm gonna get underneath this thing, check it out, because there's gotta be something, right? I really don't like the idea of just running it as is and hoping for the best. Wait a minute. So the shaft holding the cutter bit is coming directly out from the bottom of this motor. So maybe our gas engine is what spins the blade, and then the electrical system runs off the 24-volt system. Let's see if this came with real oil, or just mineral oil for shipping. Oh, that's the real deal. Okay. I mean, the manual did say to just check it before your first run, not change it. So that's engine oil. Interesting. Let's plug it in and see how charged our battery is, because I don't know if it will say without being plugged in. I thought this was a running hours clock, but it's a battery voltage. Dare we flip it on? Woo, 25, let's go. Wow, so the whole thing can run on the battery that's most likely inside of this. Who is this for? Mowing in like super dangerous locations where you don't want a human operator on the machine? Because it's not a robot. It's still going to require a human on the controls. So it's not cheaper than just paying someone to mow. It's cool, it's interesting. I guess you could mow, even if you had allergies, you could stay in the air-conditioned truck and just go around the field, which I have really bad allergies and I have a field, which is why I bought this thing. This little dinky charger, I imagine doesn't charge very fast. I've got exactly 2.2 gallons in here, and I'm guessing this isn't gonna take 2 full gallons. All right, not even a gallon went in there. Not even. Oh no. I don't think I qualify to operate this thing. The first sentence in this manual. Operation requires sound judgment. And I don't exactly have the best track record for that.
Are you all right, dude? How did that happen?
Do not put feet in mower. Got it. This button right here is the snow shovel adjustment. I could put a snow shovel on this thing. That's sick. Subscribe to see that video this winter, because that's actually pretty dang sweet. Remote start and stop, nice. Remote control headlights, what? You don't even need to touch this thing. You can just do everything from right here. This is a whole lawnmower that you drive like a remote control car.
Fun.
Yeah, look. You want to try it?
It's even cute.
Yeah.
Right now, like it's gonna get off the platform if I try it.
Yeah, I'll give it its first go because I read the manual. Okay, know where the emergency stop is? I have that in plain sight. All right, so we'll flip it on. And if I'm right, the electrical system moves the tracks and the motor only does the mowing. So I should be able to turn on the remote. Oh, sweet. All right, here we go. No way. Let's pull out these zip ties before we litter the yard. Okay. What? It's a remote control tank car. That's pretty fast. So I'm gonna drive it around this field, just make sure everything works. Then we're gonna load it in the truck and go to the field that has really tall, crazy grass and weeds everywhere. Because this field is actually already mowed, so. Did I flip the headlights on? Yeah? Okay. That is too cool. This is why I wanted a remote control lawnmower, because my field is overgrown to the point where people are parking abandoned vehicles here. And this is going to be the future home of the dream garage. A big garage, the coolest thing I could possibly dream up. It's been in the works for like years. This was actually the site of an illegal car crushing operation. So there's cool history on the property, and I gotta walk through, make sure there aren't any old car parts before we get started, you know, mowing and breaking stuff. These are pretty dang thick at the base, so it's not gonna go easy. This would be an insane challenge for my little home push mower. It wouldn't get through these weeds, it wouldn't keep spinning. So we'll see how this thing works, and we'll see how the cruise control works. So the only thing you actually need to physically turn on is the power switch. And then it's hands-free from there. And it just instantly connects. I love how quiet it is. You could load it up from the garage and bring it out to the job site without waking up the neighbors, you know? Until you fire it up, of course. This thing is so cool. This is its first day out. All right. It's pretty good. when I get to the really thick weeds, I do need to slow it down a little bit because the motor gets a little bit bogged down, but. Oh, see, that's the kill switch for the whole thing. That's good to know. But the shorter grass, I can go pretty fast. Now let's experiment with cruise control. We're at a dead stop. We'll turn up the cruise control. Huh. We're gonna have to read the instructions and get back to cruise control. Back here is kind of wet. These are the thickest weeds on the whole property. Let's see how it does. I am about to take this thing onto some much rougher terrain. But first, how did it really do as a mower in a big field? Well, this front bumper kind of pushes the weeds down so it gets over everything in its way. But the actual amount that it mows in between these two tracks isn't very much, so it takes a long time to mow any significant surface area. I ran it for about an hour before the gas ran out, and the gas engine does charge up the battery, so you're not actually losing voltage as you mow. You could go all day like this as long as the gas engine is running. The second you shut it down and drive around, the voltage starts dropping pretty rapidly, but you could get from point A to B without the gas engine on, no problem. A thing that isn't great about this mower is that the tracks push down the grass, so when you turn around to go do your second pass, that grass is kind of pushed down, and then it doesn't do as good of a job mowing it once it's already pushed down, which ends up giving you a really choppy looking field when it's all said and done, but my wife explains it best.
When I was little, we were playing hairdresser, and I don't know how we got our hands into scissors, but my friend was there and I cut her bangs in a very, very poor way. And then I got in trouble with her mom. And my brother's friend was there too, and he wanted a shave, like a completely shaven head. But obviously I only had scissors, so his haircut ended up kind of like looking like this.
Yeah, it doesn't give the cleanest mow. We've made it from property line to property line. We've got a little chunk, and then the grand finale, we have this big pile here that I have no idea what's underneath it. So that's gonna be the true challenge. It's kind of cool to watch, isn't it? It just devours everything in its path. You know, this thing is such a tank. It's not too hot. I'm just too curious if it'll move me. Like, it's 350 pounds. I'm only 185. I probably don't even slow it down, right? Like, this thing is meant to be able to push snow. It better be able to pull me. Huh. Oh. I sit on the emergency stop switch. Ah! You could like put your kids in a sled in the winter and tow them around with this thing. Or yourself. It's probably not recommended in the manual, but oh, you know what you could do with this? You could get a little sled even in the summer and like haul rocks off your property without having to pick them up, you know? There's a couple big sticks that might slow it down, but I don't think it'll break anything. Like, obviously she's not taking care of something like that. Oh, there's something big and metal here. This did used to be a junkyard. Oh yeah, that's a gas tank. That would have killed the blade. Ah. Whoop. Oh wow, see? The second it gets uneven, this thing starts to struggle. So this project might be too much to handle for our little robot here, but we're about to find out. Wow, it struggles with the tall stuff. There's no doubt about it. I think the weeds are just wrapped around it. Come on.
Now this is where the thing started to look pretty impressive. As far as where it could go, absolutely anywhere. You just have to go slow enough so that you don't overrun the motor, because these big weeds get cut down and then it can't spin through the pile of weeds underneath it. As long as you go slow, maybe take a step back and then pull back into it when you start to hear the RPM go down, it's pretty much unstoppable unless you run over a big rock or stick and it stops the blade. And I did that multiple times, but it still was giving me a clean cut. These steel blades are really thick and pretty dang tough.
Yeah! Okay, that's pretty good. Whoop. So it can make it up something like that, but just can't keep the blade spinning when it hits dirt. I mean, there's very few lawnmowers that can do this. The Field's plenty of better options, but this, especially RC, I don't think you're finding a whole lot. I mean, look at this thing just straight up hill climb. It's pretty impressive, really. She's hauling out the trash we got today. No problem. The machine itself is way more capable than the actual mower. I can't wait to test out the plow in the winter. That's gonna be something. So it obviously doesn't have any suspension. So when you're on hard surfaces, it's pretty rough, but when you're mowing lawn, you're not on hard surfaces, right? So it's like, what's the big deal? Oh, I think it'll keep the gas tank on. Burnout! Woo, smoke those tracks! So I've translated these items. This is a manufacturing statement tag. Product identification card. It has the engine model number, the model number, and the production date, which is 2024-05-17. So it was produced like a year ago. And then the inspectors are blank. So this tag has not been inspected. And this said US specification, which makes sense because the charger in here works with our outlets and the instruction manual was in English. So yeah, good stuff. It's very off-road capable, but it's not the best mower, as you can see how patchy things are. But I think there's a lot of situations where maybe this is the only option to safely mow, and then it makes a lot of sense. But besides that, I think it's just a cool toy. We'll see how it does in the winter. Subscribe to see that.
And thanks to Fume for sponsoring this video.